Hey my lovelies, hope everybody's okay. So, I'm not very technical, and note to self, don't try and record when your battery's about to die, because it died and then the video doesn't pause, so I had to start again. I'm learning as I go along. So, I was going to do a read for the group, zodiac groups over the weekend, but I've got my twirlies coming tomorrow, so I'm going to have my hands full with those two little ones that are my granddaughters. So I thought I'd just do a collective energy read. We've got the full moon in Libra, and we've got a win-win outcome is forecast, which is nice and positive considering the energy has been absolutely crazy. So, pulled some oracle cards. We have number 6, cycles. We have number 29, breathe. Number 18, fear. Number 41, sovereignty. Sovereignty. And then we have release. So fear was quite interesting because we've got this crow sat on the top of this scarecrow calling out to his mates. You can see in the background they're all on like the telegraph wires. And he's basically like, come on mate, come over here, it's okay, there's nothing to be scared of, it's all in your imagination. Like, you think it's scary, but look, I'm here, it's not. And that's what happens a lot of time with fear. It's our ego convincing us that there's something in front of us or something we're about to do that we should fear, be scared of. And then it creates these irrational thoughts and feelings, and it builds up bigger and bigger. And a lot of the times, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the time, the fear is just in our head, and what we've allowed our ego to build up into something actually worse than what it is. So we have to learn to release it, to let it go. And then we've got this breathe. Some of you could be learning to, just starting to learning to meditate or take time out, just so that you can be aware of your breath, like breathing in, breathing out, feeling it and grounding yourself. Some of you might already do that anyway. It's very beneficial. And then we have the cycles. This is like the Wheel of Fortune, like endings and beginnings, closing off cycles, starting new ones. And then sovereignty. I think I've said that right. This is almost like the Empress card. Like, you know your value, you know your worth, you know what you bring to the table, and you're basically in charge. That's how I read it, that's how I see it. It's like your world, you are in control of your world and what's around you. Okay, and the numbers may be relevant. Again, we've got number 6, 29, add that up, break it down, comes to 11. That could be relevant to some people. Number 11 is quite important. I'm not a divine counterpart reader. I don't do love reads, etc. very often unless they come up on the board. But number 11 is quite significant. If you're in a divine counterpart relationship, can be. But there are other readers out there that are absolutely excellent on this subject, you know, so I'm not touching that subject. Then we have number 18, that could be relevant. Break it down. Number 9, that could be relevant. 41, I'll take it down to 5. 5 is about changing things, can be, and the other one doesn't have a number. So these could be signs that you see in numbers, repeated numbers. Sounds really silly, but a scarecrow could be significant. You could see a scarecrow somewhere on your travels. Because they're just illusions. As in, you can see it. It is there. It is real. You know, you look into the field and you see this scarecrow. It is real. But what it's actually doing is it's not scaring the crows or the birds, because they've realised, they've learned that it's not something to be scared of. They've worked out that it's not going to hurt them. If they get too close, it's not going to bite them, it's not going to attack them. And it is just an illusion. It's there to put that fear of God in you, basically. And that's what your ego does to you. I hope that makes sense. I know what I'm trying to say. Fears to you are very real at that time. It's like coming on here puts the fear of God into me. I can do reads, one-to-one, personal reads, no problem. But coming, as soon as I press that record button, I get this, well, before I even press the record button, this fear comes over me. Like, oh my God, I'm going to sound stupid, nobody's going to listen to me, nobody's going to be interested, I'm not going to make sense. And all these irrational fears come out. Some of them are probably justified, but in my head, they're far worse. My ego's telling me, why are you doing this? What is the point? You're rubbish. Give up. And it's genuine fear, but it's kind of not real, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if people don't listen to me, don't like my reads. It doesn't matter if people think I'm rubbish. It doesn't matter if I don't get the words in the sentence in the right way round. It's not going to hurt me. It might affect my confidence a little bit, but again, that's my ego. I've got to push myself past this fear so I can sit there and say to my ego, no, I don't give two shits what you're telling me. You know? Ego has come out a lot this week in my reads, and a lot of readers that I watch. Ego is a big thing, and it's not your friend. We have to push past it, shut the door on it if we can. I think I've just dribbled on, so I'll stop. Okay, we have the first card out is the Sun. Ignore me, see? I say the wrong things. My brain and my mouth don't work together sometimes. We have the Star. And this is about healing, getting some balance. have 6 coins. This is about equality, equal give and take. Making sure you receive as much as you give. Because some of us are very good at giving without even thinking. But we don't get our needs met sometimes. We're too busy giving. And that can sometimes be through fear. Fear of whether they like me. If I don't do this for somebody, what are they going to think of me? Five of coins. It's like 5 of pentacles, 6 of pentacles and 6 coins. This is like you feeling like you've got this lack in your life of something. Feeling left out, lonely. Everybody else is invited to the party but me, sort of feeling. And we've got the Page of Wands. This is like wanting to take action, wanting to do something, but with it being the Page, it's a younger energy, so it's also sometimes having the mentality of somebody younger, like being a little bit immature, sort of like wanting to do it, but then like, no, a bit like teenagers. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow, Mum. Can you tidy your room? Yeah, I'll do it in a minute. Can you bring them dirty pots down? Yeah, I'll do it in a minute. And then in a minute never comes. So it's like you want to take some action, but you're in that sort of, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And this could be where cycles comes in, because this is a cycle that you have to break. And this feeling of lack mentality. I've got the Ace of Blades. This is the Ace of Swords. So this is like being truthful, being honest, getting some clarity on a situation. So this is like, you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to kind of take yourself into the corner and have a little word with yourself. Like, come on, you know. We need to start gathering ourselves together and healing whatever it is that's holding us back. Because, you know, we can get the boss of this. We are in charge. We are in charge. Not my thoughts, the feelings, me, us, I. And we need to release that doubt, that fear. And change that mentality of the Page of Wands. Breaking the cycles. Grounding yourself, breathing, taking that breather, giving yourself some space and giving yourself some slack, basically. Don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes we get into patterns and we struggle to break them. Not always our fault, because it can be things that we've inherited, things that we've brought with us from our childhood into our adulthood. We have these trauma bonds, this trauma that we bring with us, and it can impact us as adults in how we think and feel and how we act. But You know, we get to the point where we have to break that cycle for our benefit. We've got the King of Blades, which is the King of Swords. I don't know what you can see. So this is about standing tall, standing strong, being honest with yourself, being truthful, and putting some boundaries in and pushing forward and standing strong. Don't let anybody push you off the path that you're on, or change your mind, or try and talk you out of anything. You know, sometimes people will be like, oh, but you know, it's okay, and you don't have to be like that, you don't have to feel like that, and you know, don't be so hard on yourself. And no, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some slack, but don't let anybody sway you from wanting to go on this healing journey, wanting to change how you see things. Sometimes people don't want you to change because it suits them. You've got to do what suits you. Like with the Six of Coins, instead of giving all the time, take some energy back and put it into yourself. We've got the Moon. This is about secrets, illusions, and if you look on here, this dog looks like it's got two heads, but has it? How you see it, how you perceive it in a certain light, under the moonlight, possibly in the shadows, it could possibly look like it's got two heads. But we all know that a dog really only has one head. But we're under the illusion it's got two, because we're allowing our brain to tell us that it's got two heads, and it's something to be scared of. Because we're letting fear take hold of us, of how we see things, how we perceive things. We've got the Hermit. This is about going within and digging deep, trying to find the root cause of anything that could have caused why we feel like we feel at the moment, why we're in this cycle. Sometimes it's like being on a hamster wheel, you're just going round and round and round and you can't get off. But it's time for you to stop that wheel and get off and ground yourself and do some healing. Release anything that doesn't serve you any purpose. Remember your worth. You are in charge. Queen of Wands on the bottom. Take some action. Be passionate about it. Enthusiastic. Got the Four of Blades, which is the Four of Swords. This is taking time out, a little bit like the Hermit, going within and resting, recuperating, healing, growing spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Six of Swords, Six of Blades, transitioning, coming out of all that confusion and all that doubt and that anguish that we go through when we overthink things, when we're stuck on that hamster wheel of constantly thinking and doing the same thing. But this is transitioning, coming out of that, because we've been healing with the star. And we've been honest with ourselves what it is that we have to do to move forward, to release all of this so we can heal. And it's traveling into calmer waters, calmer emotions. Some of you could even be going on, like actually physically traveling to go for a break somewhere, you know, weekend away or a holiday, somewhere where you can have some peace and serenity and do some growing and thinking, taking some time out. But this is having a calm mind. It's the calm after the storm. Anything else, please, Spirit, for the collective? Two of Wands in reverse. So a few of you at the moment are a little bit unsure what direction that you're going to go in, what direction this is going to take. We've got the Eight of Coins on the bottom, Eight of Pentacles, but you're putting that hard work in. You've made your mind up that I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So you're putting that work in, and it's going to pay off. With strength. Because you're stronger than you believe. You can overcome anything. You're more powerful than you believe. And again, you are in charge of your world, your realm, where you live, your aura, your personal space, your universe. Whoa, I dropped that and then I tipped it. It did actually come out of upright, but I dropped it. We've got the Tower. So all this is coming after this Tower. Towers come because they're lessons. What falls down must come back up. We have these Tower moments to teach us, to show us. Sometimes it's something that we're missing. They trigger us. Towers usually are sent to us to trigger us. Sometimes we don't understand it and we just ignore it, which will then create a bigger Tower moment. But they're usually a lesson, so we can change something. We can break the cycle. And we can come back bigger and better. Where's my Strength card? Stronger than we were before. Because we've been on a healing journey and we've got our balance back. And we can turn that Two of Wands the right way round, because we finally found our direction. We finally know where we're going. Be patient with yourself. When you're overthinking, stay patient and try and balance that overthinking out. Try and understand why you're overthinking, what it is that you're overthinking. And try and, is negate the word, so it's not got any substance, so it can't have any hold on you. hold on to you. Hold on to what it is that you want and where you, what you want and where you want to be. Keep planting them seeds, because they will come into fruition. It's just going to take time and patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. We can't change habits overnight. It takes time, it takes healing. Ten of Swords, Ten of Blades. It takes putting the past to bed. Any trauma, any fears, any hurt. Getting off that hamster wheel, breaking that cycle and starting a new one of healing and growing. Wow. And we do have a win-win outcome is forecast. So this is positive. This is good, because there's goodness coming out of this. Positivity, healing, growth. For some of you, the journey will be quicker than others, because sometimes people have a little bit more to work through than others. And for some of you, this journey will be harder than others, because we all deal with things different. We've all been through different things. We all react to things differently. We all heal in different ways. We all have our own ways of doing things. But whatever journey you go on to get there, and however you get there, you will. Because you're strong enough. And I believe in you all. Okay? Right, so I will be back. I'll try and get on over the weekend. If not, I'll be back next week. Because like I say, I've got my twirlies this weekend. And they're a handful. As much as I love them, and I'm excited to have them. Alright, so take care everybody. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. It's most appreciated. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.